My father came to this country in 1962. He was one of the first batches of Muslims and of Pakistanis to come to this country. And when he came, he heard of this national organization called the Muslim Student Association. It was already founded in Urbana-Champaign and a few other places. So my father decided to found the first one in our state of Texas, in Houston. And so he petitioned and filed for the Muslim Student Association at the University of Houston. And this is the first MSA that ever happened in Texas, and especially in Houston. And that turned to be a turning point for the da'wah. Back in the day, in the 60s, people had never heard of Islam at all. And so he would get invitations for churches, for synagogues. Sometimes there were issues happening in Palestine and other places, and they would want him to come and give the Islamic perspective. Once he told me that the world famous preacher at the time, Billy Graham visited the University of Houston, and the president of the university invited all of the various denominations, and because the MSA was the only non-Christian active one, so my father got invited, and he handed Billy Graham a copy of the Quran as well. So being a part of the MSA actually shaped my own father's identity in a culture and environment where there were very, very few Muslims. That MSA was the first institute in the entire city of Texas to start the Eid prayer. There was no Eid prayer until the MSA began it for the other, because there were no Muslims living except students. And then it started the first Jum'ah as well. And then the MSA eventually transformed into the first Islamic society, because again, the people who studied there, once they graduated, went on, they had their wives and their children. Like myself, we were born there. My father then moved on to become founder of the first masjid of Houston. All of this goes back to the activism that happened during the MSA formative years. Again, MSA really is a training course for future Muslim leaders. I encourage every single one of you to be involved as an activist, as a diplomat on the behalf of our religion, and it is going to be a mechanism for you to understand the best way to engage with the broader community via your Islamic identity. But I had no idea that actually this goes back an entire generation, and there's this cyclical generational contribution that is being given. And alhamdulillah, my son as well got involved with the MSA. And so that's really what MSA is. It is really a life-changing generational leadership skills training course.